I just want to assure Deputy Gannon at the outset that one letter is a moment in time, but everybody in government, every government department, every state agency is supporting Minister O'Gorman in the incredible challenge of trying to provide accommodation in my own two departments, and all student accommodation being offered again during the summer period to help people. The Department of Justice, the Thornton Hall site being offered. We've only managed to provide shelter to tens of thousands of people by everybody putting their shoulder to the wheel. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to speak today on the issue of services for those seeking refuge in Ireland at what is really a critical juncture for discussion on this issue. We're currently living through the greatest humanitarian crisis, and I believe this country has shown extraordinary compassion in our response. We've welcomed over 75,000 Ukrainian people fleeing Russia's brutal illegal war to our country and to communities right across this country. We've given them shelter, we've given them protection, they've become part of our schools, part of our colleges, part of our workplaces. Many may go on to make Ireland their home. And for those who have arrived and been issued with temporary protection permission, I'm pleased to ask Corla to inform the House that today I'm confirming that permission has been extended until March 2024. I hope that this will provide some semblance of certainty and some semblance of security at what is a truly difficult and traumatic time in all of their lives. This permission has facilitated access to the workforce and to state services and to supports for people arriving from Ukraine, uncertain as to what the future may bring, people who've had to flee their homeland because of this war. We see this in my other department, the Department of Further and Higher Education, where Ukrainian people are enrolling in English language courses, in post-leaving cert courses, in Springboard Plus courses, and are training in Safe Pass courses, among so much other, to gain education and to find employment. There's absolutely no doubt that this war has put pressure on us as a state, as it has with so many others, particularly when it comes to accommodation. However, it is absolutely the right thing to do. It is the morally right thing to do. We are obligated to do it, and I believe the majority of Irish people share that view. This is a fair and compassionate country. We are a country that pride ourselves on being the land of Céad Míle Fáilte, and we believe in doing the right thing. Each year, 60,000 people from non-EU countries study in Ireland. Each year, tens of thousands of people, as Minister Coveney now, come to our country to help work and to help provide public and private services. We want and we need more people to do so. Migration, immigration is a good thing. As Minister for Justice, though, it is my job and the job of my department and my agencies to enforce a rules-based system. Every immigration system across the world has rules. And I want to stress that those who are eligible for international protection, I want them to get it quickly. And equally, for those who are not eligible, they need to get that answer and be asked to leave much quicker too. And that's what I've turned my focus to. One of the key steps to deliver this has been new procedures in the International Protection Office to accelerate the process for making a protection application in Ireland. And I've heard groups like the UNHCR, I've heard migrant rights group welcome an accelerated process because it does provide certainty to people rather than leaving them languishing in a system. We've committed additional funding of nearly €18 million to hire more staff, to increase efficiency in processing applications. And we have, for example, established a faster process for international protection applicants from safe countries of origin. And Deputy Kenny is right. Anybody from any country has a right to come here or anywhere else and seek international protection. That's absolutely right. But where you're from a country of safe origin, it simply makes sense that you have a faster, more efficient process. It's the same process. It's just delivered at an accelerated pace. These applicants will still go through the full process of having their applications processed and all of their rights followed. But it will be much faster, and we expect to deliver decisions for these people within 3 months now, compared to a waiting time of almost 2 years at the start of just last year. That's real progress. It's a significant achievement, and I wish to thank the staff of the International Protection Office for driving this change. When people are not eligible to be here, we also want quick decisions too. And we need an effective deportation system. A deportation system is, again, part of any immigration system. Deportation orders are an essential part of the system. They've been in place for many, many, many years. They were paused during COVID. They have now resumed. And those who do not have a legal right to remain in the country after being through a process must and should return to their own country. As I said, during COVID, we stopped deporting people for public health reasons. And when a person is issued with a deportation order, the person is required to remove themselves from the state. People are very clear that I speak to, including the Gardaí, that the majority of people leave the country once they get such a request, and though there are some who refuse to, and they are then removed. In 2022, we issued orders to 528 people to remove themselves from the country, and a further 160 have been signed off so far since January of this year. We also want to increase our efforts to prevent those who have no legal entitlement to come to doing so, and we have stepped up our engagement with air carriers to help them in reducing the number of passengers boarding flights without correct documentation. I think the points colleagues make about the different reasons people may not have correct documentation is fair, is true, and it is complex, and we shouldn't suggest it's as simple as one number and everybody arriving without documents because they couldn't be bothered having the documents. I get that. But we also do need to be conscious of the legal obligations on airlines to make sure that people have correct documentation. Garda liaison officers will travel to airports where issues arise in relation to document checking at boarding. And I also want to dispel another mistruth, because we have to start dispelling these mistruths put out there by the far right. They stoke fear among communities. They suggest there are no rules. They suggest there are no deportation orders. They suggest there are no checks. They suggest there is no role for the Gardaí. And it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Every single person who claims international protection in our country is fingerprinted. Every single fingerprint is run through watch lists and databases. It's important people know this, because we can't get off the pitch in relation to explaining what the rules are, because otherwise people just tell mistruths and exploit fears in communities. We've got to air these realities ourselves, and we cannot allow the mistruths and falsehoods of the far right to take hold. They thrive on misinformation. They travel from county to county, from community to community, spreading the untruths, creating division, creating fear. And it is essential that this House continue to have these conversations and these debates, and I think it is right that groups across this House are looking at how we can come together in calling this out as well.